Hi everybody and welcome back to the Little Miss Funeral YouTube channel. I'm about to do it again with this video. I am about to complain about something, so if you're not interested in that, you might want to not watch this video, or if you just want to hear me ramble on and complain about something, you can just keep on watching. So in case you couldn't tell by the title of this video, the theme of it is going to be keeping an appointment. I touched upon this a little bit in one of my vlogs that I had posted in the past, but basically a lot of times people will call the funeral home ahead of time if they want to meet with us for non-urgent matters or not as urgent matters as an actual death call. Like for instance, if somebody wants to just kind of come in and talk about pre-planning and pre-arrangements and different things like that, what they'll end up doing is calling us. We'll put them on the calendar to come on in and meet with us and sit down and talk about different things. And I cannot tell you how often people just do not keep these appointments or show up late. Now, it does happen every once in a while with a death call as well. We'll set up a time to have a family come in and sit down and meet with us, and for whatever reason, families show up late, and it happens, and I know it happens, and it's very annoying on my end of things as a funeral director, but I don't think a lot of people realize why, hence this video. So let's just put it in perspective. For people who are out there, like if you are going to a doctor or a dentist and different things like that, if you go and check in, oftentimes you're going to see like a little plaque that says, you know, if you don't keep the appointment or if you're late, we might have to reschedule you, you'll be charged a certain fee and different things. And that is done because these offices are trying to serve a lot of people, and you have to be on time because after your appointment there are people who are after you who they have to see and serve as well. And although the funeral industry is a little bit of a different animal, it still holds like the same truth. There are so many times where the funeral home is quite busy and I set up appointments for people to come in and sit down and meet with me, whether or not they're death calls or arrangements, pre-needs, whatever the case may be. I typically know how long it's going to take me to meet with a particular family based on questions that I ask them on the phone and the kind of services that they're looking for. So a lot of times if the funeral home is very busy, which it does happen because it seems like it comes in waves, you'll hear that a lot. The funeral home either has nothing going on whatsoever or we are just swamped. So during the times when we are so unbelievably busy, I can be meeting sometimes with 4 families in a day, and that's just 4 families myself, where that doesn't even include like all the behind the scene work. That's just sitting down and making these arrangements. So if I schedule one person at 12 o'clock and then another family to come in at 2 o'clock, I really don't have a huge buffer because I know it's going to roughly take me about an hour and a half to meet with everybody. And I always just want to make certain that I am dedicating enough time and enough attention to every single family that's going to come in. So if I schedule a family for 12 o'clock but they don't come in until 12:30, that puts a lot of strain on me because in the back of my mind I'm thinking, okay, I have to rush this arrangement along a little bit so that I can have enough time to meet with everybody that needs my attention. And that's not fair for everybody involved. That's not fair for the families that we're serving because every single person who walks into a funeral home deserves the time and attention that they need so that we can properly take down the information, ask them all of the questions, and answer anything that they may need answered. So it's just one of those topics that's so hard to address, I feel like, because how do you tell people when they're coming into a funeral home, especially when it's under a horrible circumstance like losing somebody that they love, that, you know, a phone call would have been nice to let them know that you're running late. There are some days like today where for once in quite some time, we actually had nothing going on at the funeral home. And if you've watched some of my vlogs in the past, you'll kind of see that I personally do not have, at my current position, days on and days off. I work when the funeral home's busy, and when it's not, I don't. So today we actually had no services, nothing on the calendar. So I was super excited because I was like, you know, maybe for once I can kind of enjoy my day and not go into work and not go into the funeral home. But then I got a call from the owner of the funeral home, who had asked if I could come in to do a pre-arrangement for a family that had called. And I said, yeah, absolutely, no problem. That's one of the things with this job. It's like you kind of hope for a day off, but in the back of your mind, you also know that things happen, so you don't really take it for granted. So it was no issue for me to go in and meet with this family. So the pre-arrangement for this family was set for 12 o'clock, and I went in about 11 o'clock in order to just get things situated. I like to make certain that the lights are turned on, the temperature in the building's cool, I have all of my paperwork situated and organized, so when they come in, I can just dedicate all of my attention to them. 12 o'clock comes and goes, and you know, 10 after, 15 after, I'm kind of looking at the clock, and I kind of knew that maybe this was gonna be a no-show. Anytime we have somebody who's more than 15 minutes late, I typically know that they're going to be a no-show. And this was a pre-arrangement, so it wasn't anything urgent, it wasn't anything that we needed to get done right away. I had literally nothing else on the calendar, nothing else going on, so it wasn't like this family being late was going to push me to any sort of like limits with time frame, just because I had nobody else coming in after them. This particular situation was more of an annoyance for myself, honestly. 12:30 rolls around and I call the family and it automatically goes to voicemail. And I left them a message just asking if they wanted to reschedule or if they had gotten lost, and I never heard back from them. It was a little bit annoying for myself because I made a special trip to come into work today so I could sit down and meet with this family and so I could answer questions. And I just wanted to make this video not just to like come on here and complain to all of you, but to just kind of put this out there that time is a very valuable thing, especially when it comes to days where we are super busy, because we're trying to spread ourselves as funeral directors so thin so that we can serve numerous people in a short amount of time. And then on the days like today where we really don't have much going on, that's time that I could have spent at home or with my family. That's very far and few in between. The point of this video is, like I was saying, not just for me to sit here and be like a negative Nancy about these things, but to just kind of come on here and just ask that anybody who is watching this video just to be aware. If you ever call anybody, not just a funeral home, but if you ever just call somebody to make an appointment, keep that appointment. Don't just make an appointment and then not show up and think, oh, it doesn't matter. So that's basically it. That's the point of this video, is just please be mindful of the appointments that you're making. Keep the appointments. If you're running late, pick up the phone and call the funeral home and just let them know, hey, I am running about 15 minutes late. Is that okay? Do we need to reschedule? Because sometimes you may need to reschedule if there are numerous appointments and not many directors on call that can serve every single family. But in the grand scheme of things, it's just common courtesy, and I would just appreciate it if, you know, this family would have called and just said, you know what, we just need to reschedule, because that would have been no issue whatsoever. So I am sorry that I am complaining, but I'm not, because I'm making this video anyway, so let's be honest with one another. I hope that for people who are watching this, maybe it opened up your eyes a little bit to how funeral homes work with regards to scheduling and why it does make a difference. And just always remember to be kind, be on time, and if for some reason that you can't, call and let the person know. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.